appreciate it. Feel free to follow me on Twitch as well, Sentinel17. Follow me on Twitter at Sentinel17. It's on the bottom of your screen. Again, thank you so much for joining me for this live stream. House Flipper, I am giving a walkthrough of the big house today. So I'm going to show you start to finish how it goes, but I am going to shorten it a little bit just so it's not an entire hour long. I'm going to show you the basics of the big house, and this house can net you the most money in House Flipper. So we are going to get started with it. I gotta make sure this is the name of the house. Give me just a second, let me see. It's easier if you go to the laptop because you can actually see pictures. Just married house. Yep, that's the one I'm going to. Now this house is huge. There is a lot of opportunity for you to paint the outside, apply the paneling to the outside, but as you can see, because of its height, it does require you to buy at least a normal scaffold, if not the higher one. Today though, I'm just going to clean it up and make the outside presentable. I'm not going to paint the outside at all because it's very time consuming. There's so much to this house that you can do. The longest I spent on one of these houses, this house, but you can buy it multiple times, was I believe 3 hours, going through and doing everything with it. Made a lot of money from it, but again, it's time consuming, and I know I said this yesterday on my Twitch stream, that the amount of money you make in this is actually tied to one of the achievements or trophies. So it's good to make the money so you can get that achievement, and this house can essentially give you the most, depending on how much you put into it. Now I could just sell it as is and I can still make a small amount of money, not too much, because as you can see there's boxes and stuff everywhere, stuff that needs to be fixed. So what I'm going to be doing for this one is I'm not going to be painting the walls or anything else. I'm just going to be going through and cleaning it up and putting in furniture, stuff like that, just to keep it simple, and because I don't want this stream to be lasting an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. Now with most of these properties, you clean up and you put in new furniture and that's enough. And in this house, you don't really have to patch any of the walls. So you clean up a little bit, you already essentially have what you need in the living room. And of course, don't forget to clean all the windows. Now, of course, with the windows, you can put blinds in, you can put curtains, and dependent on the width of the windows and dependent on whether the windows are over a radiator or not, that's going to depend on long or short. Now the nice thing about this house is essentially there's only cleaning you have to do in reality. All the light fixtures, all of the switches are already in place. So if you want to do minimal work and get a decent amount back, you just clean up the house and you should be fine. Now of course none of the radiators are mounted, so I am going to mount all of the radiators throughout the house. I'm not putting any AC in though. You can do that, but you don't have to. Again, you could buy the house and just turn right around immediately and sell it when you show up at the house, and you could still make some money. But of course the key to this house is to make as much as you can because of its size. And of course the more money you make, the more houses you can buy. Now of course I have this game for both the Xbox and the PlayStation. I played the version for the Xbox longer. I have millions and millions of dollars. In this one I only have $667,000, but that's also after I've bought a number of properties in the game. Now I do want to point something out. This is where you install the bathtub. And you'll notice that there are more than one type of bathtub in the store. Let me install this first. The radiator. Install that, get it out of the way. So, with the bathtub, you go to the bathroom, and keep in mind all the plumbing is under installations. So if it's just a room with no plumbing whatsoever installed, you do have to go to installations for bathtub, for toilet, for all of that plumbing. But if the plumbing is already installed, you just go to bathroom. Now these two tubs are essentially the same size. These are bigger, of course. Like, I'll give you an example. This one, oh, it's nice, and it will fit technically, but it's going to take up the entire bathroom. And then of course this one is a monstrosity. This one's huge. The mountable bathtub Arkami. This is the smaller one. This is the one you can mount in most of the houses where the plumbing is already established. So that's what we're going with. And there's always a lot of steps when it comes to installing a bathtub. A lot more steps than most of the showers. So, now that I have that installed, the sink is already here, the light is already here. All I need essentially is the toilet. So I'm going to pick a simple toilet. Now keep in mind, you pick a toilet like this at the top. There are screws on either side at the base right here that you will have to install, but you pick one like this, and this is pretty much my go-to toilet whenever I'm putting together houses. It's simple. You place it down, you place the lid, and you're done. That's it. Very simple, and the bathroom is good to go. Now, for this, the kitchen is already here. The kitchen is functional. It has everything they need, essentially, minus the fridge, which you can go in here and toss the fridge in there quick. And I just tossed this one. It's nice, it's wide, it has enough room. There you go. Now they have a nice fridge. They already have a couch. They have a little coffee table. And like I said yesterday on my Twitch stream, some of these buyers, and each buyer has a trophy or an achievement attached to them. Some of the buyers will want a TV. And if you're trying to get this achievement and you don't necessarily have a lot of money, you can get something like this. And it does count as a TV. I know it's a computer monitor, it's kind of ridiculous, but they will see it as a TV. So there you go. Last room we got to clean up. Again, I said yesterday, you use the hand to clean it up cleans it up faster. You can use the scanner to remove them, but it takes longer. Now, the desk, you can tell if something needs to be thrown out or if it's serviceable. You point the scanner at it. If the scanner comes up with a price, that means it's serviceable. However, if it says remove, like some of the cabinets, then it just needs to be replaced. Now, it already has a desk in here. In theory, I could leave the desk, and for today's example, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go up here, and I'm going to put a, let me see, furniture, and we're going to go to chairs. And I'll throw an office chair in here. Just like this. And they have a computer desk. There you go. Now before I leave this room, I am of course going to clean the windows. And again, for today's live stream, I am not doing everything that could be done to this house, obviously, because there's so much that you can do. You can paint every single room, you can paint the outside or apply paneling to it so it looks either wood or brick. I could swap out all the doors for white doors, the floor, the light switches and the lights. I could swap all of that out. But again, for this example, for today, I'm not doing that just because it takes so much time. You could devote a lot of time into this house, and functionality-wise, there's not really too much you got to change to it. A lot of times when I come in here and I deal with this house and I'm doing everything I can to it, what I do is I will go here and I will build a wall. Boom, right here. Now I'll make the wall even with this corner right here. And I'll put in a door, and then this will actually be a bathroom. I put in the wall tiles, I put in the floor tiles, I make this a bathroom for downstairs. I also put a wall right here, all the way to the edge of the steps, and then I make this a living room / dining room, and then both of these are of course a couple of bedrooms. And this is perfect for the big family. You see the big family on the left side of the screen at the very bottom. It's the mom and dad, the mother-in-law, 3 kids. It's a perfect setup for them. Oh, and I also put a wall right here kind of to close it off. Make it so it doesn't look like there's, you know, a gap here and then of course under the stairs. It makes it look much more presentable. I'll paint the walls, put furniture in them, everything. But for today's example, I'm not going to do that just because that section alone usually takes me about 30 minutes. Because of everything that you have to do. But this house in particular presents you with a lot of opportunities to put in all that stuff and to really make a lot of money. And then of course we've seen the basement and the ground floor. Now we head upstairs. There are a few messes that need to be fixed, and as you can see, it already has a functional sink and toilet, and we're going to verify that with the scanner. It shows a price for both. That means they don't need to be replaced. Some of the houses that you buy will have a toilet or a sink that just looks absolutely horrible. You point the scanner at it and it'll say remove. That's the indicator that those are pretty much deadlined, if you want to call it that. That's what we call it in the military. When something is just, it needs to be replaced, you can't salvage it. It's called deadlined. Now, I did mention yesterday in my Twitch stream a couple of the different showers. Now, the first one up, the mountable shower right here, requires a lot of steps to install it. This one, the square one down here, doesn't. It's pretty simple. My go-to is usually this one right here, the mountable shower course. Sometimes I'll use the mountable shower idiom, but the mountable shower course is so simple, and I'll show you. You click to assemble, you put the plate on the floor, you put the little stopper thing in the drain, mount that to the wall, doors click into place, final door, you're done. Now with the square shower, it's going to take you a long time. So with some of the early houses, I think you're limited with the different toilets and showers you can pick. So you'll have to go through all the steps. And whenever you first install, until you unlock the perks, you install very slow. And as you can see, negotiation, cleaning, demolition, painting, building, and of course handyman. And like 20% faster mounting, and that's pertaining to toilets and sinks and all of that. So as you play the game and as you unlock different things, you increase your skills. But when you're first starting out, this one, the mountable shower, takes you a good minute to assemble, if not more. It is a little frustrating. Alright, let me see. Let me see what else I need in this. Towel radiator. Okay. So I'm gonna go here, mountable towel radiator, and this one's pretty simple. Alright, and the bathroom is pretty much complete. Now, I do want to point something out in these rooms. These rooms do have blue carpet, but keep in mind the blue carpet is actually faded. So if you go in here and you go to the floor and floor panels and coverings and you go to this fitted blue carpet, it's actually darker than this. So if you wanted to go all out and you wanted to keep the carpets blue, you would have to replace it because you can see it is a little faded. And like I said, I'm cleaning the windows for all the rooms, and I will install the radiator. But I'm not painting the rooms. I'm not doing everything that you could do with these rooms. Now sometimes, if I'm in a hurry, if I'm just not feeling it, I will go in, I'll clean up the house, and I'll sell it. Other times, when I have time on my hands, I will go in. Every single room gets cleaned. Every single room gets painted. The living room, the basement, each bedroom, they all get their own air conditioner. It just depends on how much time you have for this, and that's great about House Flipper that it does that it doesn't require you to do a certain amount of work to the house. You can essentially just buy it and immediately sell it, and you'll make a little something. But the more time you invest into each house, the more stuff you put in it, the better furniture, all of that stuff, the more you're going to see out of it whenever you sell it. And then, like I said, for each bedroom, I'm keeping it simple. It'll be a cheap bed, nothing big. And there you go. I only invested maybe 15 minutes into it, and I made $119,000 on it. And I haven't even painted everything. I haven't put in expensive furniture. This was very basic. So when you are going after that achievement or trophy, where you have to make a certain amount of money, this is actually the house that can help you reach that achievement the fastest. And like I said, a lot of times with this house, I will devote a couple hours to it. But for this live stream, I didn't want to do that because it's so time consuming. So thank you very much for watching this live stream. That big house, the White House, do everything to it. You can essentially make $200,000 on it if you put a lot of work into it. Thanks for checking out my live stream. Also, feel free to follow me on Twitter. This is Steve Sterling with Sentinel 17 Gaming.